Hey guys, it's been about a year since I started my YouTube channel, so to celebrate, I decided to put together a tip and trick video. The first tip I want to share with you today deals with blending brushes. You can use rubbing alcohol to clean them in between uses. This works particularly well with getting distress oxides off of your brush. So all you do is you put a little bit of rubbing alcohol on a paper towel, rub your brush with it, and there you go. Your brush is clean and ready for the next go. The second tip I want to share with you is using your finger or a small acrylic block for tiny stamps. It's really easy. I know it sounds kind of weird, but you just put the stamp on the tip of your finger, tap it into the ink, and then press lightly down on your paper. If you're not comfortable using your finger, you can use a small acrylic block. This works really well and is so much simpler than trying to get out a stamping platform or something like that to stamp teeny tiny stamps like this. My third tip is to use NonStick Scissors for double-sided tape and adhesive foam. I don't know how I lived before I had these scissors. They make cutting this adhesive foam so easy. You don't have any residue on your scissors. You don't have to clean them in between uses. They are amazing. My fourth and fifth tip have to do with ink types and when to use them. For my fourth tip, use pigment ink when you are stamping on top of distress oxides. It gives you a truer, blacker color. It also stays wet longer, so it works great for heat embossing. You can use clear embossing powder or black embossing powder on top of it to get a great look. My fifth tip is to get an ink that works well for alcohol marker coloring as well as watercoloring. The Picket Fence Black Hybrid ink works really well for these types of techniques. It also stays wet for a little bit longer than your standard ink, so you do have time to heat emboss if you want to add some clear embossing powder on top to give it a little bit of shine. I did go ahead off camera and color my cute little mouse with some Copic markers. This brings me to my sixth tip. Keep your stamp in your stamping platform, and once you're done coloring, restamp your image. You could do this with either the original Copic friendly ink or with a pigment ink, and it is really going to darken up those lines that have been dulled a little bit by the alcohol markers and add a lot to your stamp. You can see here, once it's double stamped, look at those crisp black lines. Speaking of lines, that brings me to my seventh tip. Use a Copic Multiliner to fix lines and add details on your stamps. If you ever have trouble with stamping and there's a little gap because you don't quite get a spot, keep one of these multiliners on hand so you can just easily fill it in. You can also darken noses or eyes or add details like dots, stripes, squiggles, lots of fun stuff, and then you can still color over them because they are friendly with alcohol markers. I think we all have a few dies in our stash that are kind of hard to see when you're trying to line them up with your stamped image. Well, I'm going to show you a trick here that makes it so much easier. Go ahead and die cut from cardstock and then use a sticky mat. Now the one I'm using fits right in my mini MISTI. I also have one that fits in my standard size MISTI, as well as one that's 12 by 12. These are also great for stenciling because you can go ahead and put your die cut down and then cover it with your stencil. So once you get it in your MISTI, it's not going to move on that sticky mat. Now you can line up your stamp so it fits perfectly in the die cut, close your platform, and go ahead and stamp to your heart's content until you get the color that you want. Several different companies have these on the market now. Mine are from scrapbook.com and they're at a really reasonable price point. But if you have a Cricut, you could even cut down one of your Cricut mats to fit inside your MISTI, and that would work as well. I like these scrapbook.com ones because I was able to purchase them in a package or individually, and they're clear, so I find that helps with certain techniques that I'm trying to do. These are also great for stamping multiples. You just put your negative in and then you can swap out the die cut. Easy peasy. My ninth tip deals with organization. Use adhesive magnet sheets for easy die organization. You can see I had those all in my bag and they were all jumbled up, and anytime I want to get something out, I have to dump everything out on my desk. Well, these adhesive magnet sheets make it so easy. All you do is you remove the backing and then you can put it down on a piece of cardstock, add your label so you can stay nice and organized, and then you can add a bunch of die cuts on the back. And because you have it attached to a piece of cardstock that's slightly larger, it's not a big deal if your die cuts go slightly off of the magnet. This allows you to use less magnets, and then you can put them in and organize them with your stamps in your bins however you see fit. These adhesive sheets are at a really good price point and come in lots of different sizes. You could even put them on a board and then put them on your wall so you could put up all of your most used dies. My 10th tip is to use a silicone mat to Copic color small items. This makes it so you're not getting alcohol marker all over your work surface. Which brings me to my 11th tip, which is to use Copic markers to color sentiment shadows. This is a really easy way to add some color to your sentiments, and you can match the coloring in your card. It looks really amazing. That brings me to my next tip, which is to clean your silicone mats using rubbing alcohol. It quickly cleans off any alcohol marker. All you have to do is spray the mat, and then you can use a towel or a rag, whatever you have available, and just quickly wipe it off and it looks like new. As a bonus, these silicone mats work really well for hot gluing items. My 13th tip is to use press and seal to keep die cuts in place. So you can see I have several letters die cut out. I have the word happy, and I'm just lining them up. You can do this with a ruler, or if you have a grid mat like I do, I'm just getting them all nice and lined up. You can also do this with small die cuts that you have on your card. You essentially just lay out whatever you want in whatever way you want, and then you get a small piece of the press and seal and you press down on those die cuts. It will keep everything in place, allowing you to then flip it over and use some liquid adhesive on the back. Then you just apply it down to your card, and then you let it dry, and you can pull up the press and seal and everything stays in place just like you had it. This works really, really well, especially when you have a lot of word die cuts and you're trying to get them all on your card in a very specific way, and you're worried about getting them all glued down straight on your card. Super easy. So you can see I have added my liquid adhesive, and now I'm just going to flip it over and put it down on the card. Now normally I would let this dry a little bit before I pulled it up, but I wanted to show you, so I very carefully pushed it down and then I carefully peeled up the press and seal. Now I will tell you the press and seal is great because you can reuse it, and it's also awesome for using in your kitchen. So it does double duty. I highly recommend it. My 14th and final tip is to use the corner of your scoring board to line things up. You also could use your MISTI or other stamping platform. All you need to do is find something that has a right angle corner, and then when you're gluing on card panels like this that are full sized, you can put your card base in and then just very carefully drop your card on top. It's going to glue perfectly, it's going to line up easily, and you're not going to have any issues with trying to get it on there just right. If you're interested in anything I've used today, I will link everything down below in the description. I hope you picked up some fun tips and tricks for helping you in your card making. Please be sure to like and subscribe, as well as hit that notification bell so I can continue bringing you more crafty content in the future. Until next time, happy crafting.